Hey, welcome back to Zombie Tactics. Tonight I want to talk about something, the topic of the video, tyranny through triangulation. And what am I talking about here? Well, I happen to have in my hand 3 different handgun rounds, and they're representative of the most common types of ammunition that you'll find for handguns or rifles. They're of particular types. But I want to start out this video by asking you a question. When it comes to any other enumerated right in the Constitution, take something like freedom of speech. Would you accept for 1 minute that, like, okay, you know, we can't yell fire in a crowded theater if there's actually not a fire in the crowded theater because we'd be causing a riot? It's not the question that there's a limit on us being able to say something. It's a limitation on us being able to actually do some harm, cause a riot or something like that. But what would you say if we started making lists of words that people could not say? And we said something like, well, we're going to outlaw the most 250 most offensive words in the English language that will likely cause people to be angry or whatever. Maybe fire is one of the words that we'll outlaw, just in case somebody says that at the wrong time. You'd say, no, that's stupid. You can't limit a fundamental right that way. That's stupid. Even if they came along and said, well, look, we've come up with a list of 10,000 words that are exempted. This is strikingly similar to the assault weapons ban bill that was proposed by Dianne Feinstein. Oh, we don't want to take away your Second Amendment rights. We just want to give you a whole list of things we're not going to allow you to buy or own. And we're going to give you a list of other things that, look at this, you get to own all kinds of things like a Marlin Camp 9 rifle that's not even made anymore. Isn't that impressive? Well, if they can't get away with doing it directly, a lot of the anti-gunners and the anti-Second Amendment folks, they'll get away with it, or they'll try to get away with it in another way. For instance, in San Francisco, California, in the city in the county of San Francisco, it's illegal to sell hollow point ammunition, which is one of the most common kinds of self-defense ammunition used. And there's a .40 caliber hollow point round. Now, they say it's because it's extra super killy deadly. Because it expands, or it's designed to expand, doesn't necessarily do so reliably in all cases, but it's designed to expand upon impact, therefore making a bigger hole. Okay, well, whatever. The other point behind hollow points is that they don't overpenetrate and, you know, go through the bad guy you're shooting and perhaps hurt somebody else, as a full metal jacketed round would do. But you're not actually limited as a citizen from carrying them in your gun if you've got a concealed carry permit or you're using it for self-defense as your home. You just can't buy them in San Francisco because nobody's going to sell them to you. See how this kind of creeps in on you? Well, recently, partly being encouraged by San Francisco, the mayor of San Francisco tried to get South San Francisco to enact the same kinds of laws. In other words, getting rid of hollow point ammunition, and at the same time they used language that said, well, police or military style ammunition, or ammunition that has identical ballistic capabilities. So in other words, we were not only going to try and get rid of hollow point ammunition because it's extra super killy deadly in their view, but since the military uses full metal jacketed ammunition, it could be said that full metal jacketed ammunition is a military style of ammunition. Well, you've just gotten rid of the 2 most common kinds of pistol and rifle ammunition that there are available on the market. If you couldn't sell those or you couldn't have those, they could say, well, we're not coming after your guns. We're just making sure that you only use safe ammo. Well, what does that leave you with? It would leave you with something like this, a lead round nose cartridge like this. This is a .38, goes in a .38 caliber revolver. But then they come right back and they go against that and they say, well, we don't want to have any of that around because, you know, at first they'll say, oh, you can't hunt with them because it's terrible for the birds or something. The birds will get lead poisoning. And then if you come back and say, well, there's no evidence of that. Oh, but we're just being super careful about it. We want to make sure, you know, it's responsible what we're doing here. This is just common sense. You go, well, wait a minute. You already got rid of the hollow points. You already got rid of the jacketed the full metal jacketed rounds. Now you're coming after lead ammo, and believe it or not, in some cases they've actually tried to outlaw just lead ammo altogether. Well, if you can't use lead ammo, if you can't use jacketed hollow points, and you can't use full metal jacketed rounds, what is there really left? I mean, I suppose there's some kind of weird plastic bullet or something like that, but at that point in time, you've effectively done away with anybody to use any kind of ammunition that's useful at all. You can say, oh, look, we're still letting you have guns, you just can't have the bullets. So this is tyranny by triangulation, and don't think that just because right now things are looking like we won't get national or federal assault weapons ban, that there aren't other things that these anti-gunners are thinking of to try and hassle you, the law-abiding citizen who just wants to own firearms for sporting purposes or hunting purposes, for target shooting, and for self-defense, and as a hedge against tyranny, because that's one of the things that we're supposed to be able to own weapons for. Don't think they're going to stop just because they've got a little bit of a pushback already on the assault weapons ban. They're going to try other things. They're going to try and triangulate and kind of move around the Second Amendment until they basically choke it off to the point where it means nothing. So keep your guard up. Don't think that it's all over just because Dianne Feinstein's bill didn't get through initially. In this sense, it's really important, as I always say, to keep your powder dry and aim for the head. By the way, I want to talk about that a little bit, just in passing. Aim for the head does not mean shoot people in the head. It means aim for their intelligence, and it means always deal with things intellectually and not emotionally. You just want to put that in there. So, once again, as always, keep your powder dry. Always aim for the head. That's Zombie Tactics for tonight. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.